Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's Mystic Minute is Why are there different people in the world? My co-host and business partner was up here from Portland this weekend, and she and I gave a couple of different workshops about consciousness technologies. And it was such an interesting experience. There was an Indian couple in one of them, and the fellow was having a difficult time wrapping his mind around some of the things we were saying, some of the different concepts we were putting out. He had a question about there being just one entity. One entity, there are lots of gods. And I had not described consciousness as an entity, and I didn't describe consciousness as God either. To me, consciousness is bigger than God. And sometimes the energy of consciousness is described as oneness. I think it's more accurate to describe it as unity, because it's bigger than oneness. I mean, you look at the ocean, and it's one massive body, but it is filled with so much. The other fascinating thing about doing these workshops is that my co-host and I are completely different personalities. And even when we're talking about consciousness, we have different approaches, we have different language, we have different ways of putting it out. That is very valuable. I think we appeal to a wider group of people. And we give an example of contrast, because that's another thing about this planet, is this is a planet of dichotomies. This is a planet of contrasts. This is a creation of consciousness that reflects all the opposite of what consciousness essentially is. Therefore, there are different people in the world for the enjoyment of consciousness to experience different people in the world. So the fun thing about doing these workshops with her and how different she is, and we've been doing a radio show for the last year and a half, and we have worked together on air talking about these different topics and subjects. But this is our first time sort of standing together and giving a presentation. And we have different teaching styles as well. It was an enjoyable experience dancing with somebody else who has different dance steps. So think of all the different people that are in your world. There's lots of different personalities that make up your reality. And they're all really interesting people. And some of them you get along with great, and some of them might cause some friction. That's all the part of experiencing life in a human body. And then the big message that I had to get out this weekend is that you are consciousness. Experiencing this in physical form, but you are consciousness. So it's really interesting. Are you communicating to consciousness? Am I talking to you as consciousness? Or am I talking to you as your personality? I prefer to feel like I'm connecting with the greater essence of who you are, and I am validating what you inherently know that you might not have put into words. And then a lot of the other stuff about it is just, you've got a body that is an accumulation of all the dichotomies and impressions that have been created since this body was formed. So this life is a real fun ride. It is all here for our enjoyment. It is here for our creation. It is here for us to create in. This is our playground. This is our fish tank. This is our diorama. And I would say that is the main thing that my co-host and I agree on, is that this is here for our enjoyment as consciousness. And consciousness is enjoying every moment, even if it doesn't seem enjoyable. There's an aspect of enjoying even the pain and discomfort of it. Sometimes you might find when you're in the midst of everything going down the toilet, there's this excitement that you have, an inner excitement of getting up and going. It actually inspires you to take different action or have a different experience. It's transformative. So the last little thing I think I'll touch on is like, who is responsible for your reality? Who is creating your reality? And the answer is you. The greater aspect of you is creating this reality. And when you step into alignment, and that is identification as the greater aspect of you, everything falls into place. Everything becomes effortless. Everything becomes enjoyable. Feel empowered as consciousness. And honestly, there isn't anything you have to do when you're in this space. There's just what you choose to do and how you choose to act or respond to situations. So play with all those ideas, see what comes up, and I'll talk to you in a couple more days with another Mystic Minute. And if you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. You can also subscribe to these on YouTube. You can sign up to my mailing list. And I have a very special program coming up. So if you want to get in on that, I suggest signing up and getting in on my mailing list, and you'll be the first to know. Talk to you in a couple days.